This is the MTN 530 News.
I'm Mike Dennison in Helena. We now have 9 new laws in Montana being challenged in court as unconstitutional.
I'm Casey Conlon at Build Montana's initial graduation day out here at Knife River. Coming up, we'll give you the proof that the program is working.
But first, here's a live look from the Stockman Bank weather cam on this Friday evening. The calendar says late spring, but it sure doesn't feel like it outside. Unseasonably cold temperatures settling in over the Magic City. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Russ Riesinger. Mother Nature not being kind to us this weekend. Smoke-filled skies and rain will define the weekend, but right now, it's all about the cold. We turn to Chief Meteorologist Ed McIntosh. He's been tracking the falling temperatures in the Weather Center. Ed?
Very chilly morning this morning, Russ. Take a look at where the overnight lows ended up. Record lows this morning. Helena tied the record. Great Falls at 26 degrees. Check out 23 degrees for the 21st day of May in Butte, and then also even 20s around Livingston first thing in the day. Billings was only 1 degree above the record cold temperature for the date. And the temperatures in the afternoon didn't warm up. Billings only made it to 34 unofficially, some 40s across the eastern plains. So now that we start to get into the weekend, we're going to have some more concerns, including a chance of perhaps some freezing weather overnight into areas of southwest Montana. So we have freezing conditions in the west. Central Montana will continue to see some snow. And the eastern plains, we're going to talk about the chance of heavy rain and thunderstorms by Sunday. All the forecast details coming up in just a little bit.
Well, new updates tonight on the proposed medical school for West Billings as top officials with Rocky Vista University now say their construction plans are moving full steam ahead. Our Jay Cohn has the latest on this development.
In spite of a rocky start to its proposal to build an osteopathic medical school in West Billings, Rocky Vista University officials say they plan to turn dirt on the project very soon. Provost David Forstein telling MTN News today he anticipates the framework of the building should be in place by December.
I just ordered a couple $1 million worth of steel, and we're closing on the property on the west end, getting ready to go. It's a more than $100 million investment to get this project started.
Rocky Vista's Billings campus would be the company's third school in the Rocky Mountain region, joining existing locations in Colorado and Utah. The privately funded project means big bucks for the Billings economy. An estimated $78 million impact over its 2-year startup, as many as 350 jobs, and more than $1.2 million in additional local taxes. While its economic impact would be huge, the school has battled controversy from the beginning. Billings Clinic pulled out of the project after inappropriate comments came to light from 2 of the school's representatives. And just 2 weeks ago, 50 Montana doctors signed a letter opposing the project.
I can understand that there may be some people who don't know us very well, who don't completely understand what our project is about, and there's always going to be fear and concern of the unknown. So I'm very eager to look forward to the opportunity to meet with these physicians and other leaders who have some of these concerns.
Rocky Vista anticipates its first class of some 80 students to be here in July of 2023, the first round of clinical rotations beginning in the summer of 2025. In Billings, I'm Jay Cohn reporting for MTN News.
Thank you, Jay. Earlier this week, Rocky Vista University announced it had been accredited from the Commission of Osteopathic Medicine, considered crucial in getting that project off the ground. Bighorn County's Health Public Board is rescinding its current mask order, not because the threat of COVID is waning, but because of the threat of a loss of a lot of funding from the American Rescue Plan Act that's being doled out by the state. It all has to do with House Bill 632 that lawmakers in the Republican-dominated legislature passed this spring, which cuts ARPA allotments to Montana counties that keep COVID restrictions in place that are stronger than at the state level. A news release states that jeopardizing funding was the only reason for the move, stating our county could lose 20% of that funding, including funding for infrastructure and broadband and many other non-health care items if the mask mandate remains in place. Now, Bighorn County Health Officer Dr. Carol Greiman told me this afternoon that they didn't see a choice and that it's bizarre that one of the counties hit the hardest by COVID would have been penalized the most. She continues to urge everyone to get vaccinated and social distance. Two more lawsuits have been filed challenging new laws passed by the Republican majority at the 2021 state legislature. That brings the total to at least 9 new laws challenged as unconstitutional this year on everything from guns on campus to new voting restrictions to energy contracts. MTN Chief Political Reporter Mike Dennison gets us up to speed on this legal warfare.
On Thursday, a coalition of university students, faculty, former U system officials, and labor groups sued to invalidate 4 new laws. Those laws include restrictions on transgender athletes, a ban on political groups conducting voter drives on state campuses, and requiring the State Board of Regents to end its ban on firearms on state college campuses. The suit, filed directly with the Montana Supreme Court, says all of these laws violate the State Board of Regents' constitutional authority to manage the state university system. The Regents filed their own lawsuit on Thursday as well, challenging the gun law and asking the Supreme Court to block the law from taking effect on June 1st. The coalition lawsuit also raised a number of concerns about the effects of the laws, especially the one allowing firearms on campus. Student plaintiffs said they feared for their safety, and others said it could have a negative effect on student enrollment. The lawsuits named Governor Greg Gianforte or Republican Attorney General Austin Knudsen as defendants. Knudsen said Friday that despite what the Regents say, they don't have the power to deprive Montana students of their constitutional right to keep and bear arms. State and federal courts are now considering suits challenging at least 9 new Montana laws as unconstitutional. Other laws being challenged include stricter voter ID requirements, restrictions on ballot collections, and the new law giving Governor Gianforte broader powers to choose and appoint new state judges. Also, this won't be the end of the lawsuits challenging new laws passed by the GOP majority at the last legislature. At the very least, new restrictions on abortion in Montana will soon be facing court scrutiny as well. Reporting from Helena, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
Well, the lawsuits are before the state Supreme Court, state district courts, and federal district court in Montana. A Wyoming state senator now running for the U.S. House is playing political defense today. State Senator Anthony Bouchard is a top challenger to Representative Liz Cheney in the Republican primary. Yesterday, he posted a video on Facebook admitting to having sex with a 14-year-old girl when he was 18. Bouchard said he came forward with the information because of dirty politics.
It's amazing that they look at things so negatively. So bottom line, it's a story when I was young, 2 teenagers, girl gets pregnant. You've heard those stories before. She was a little younger than me, so it's like the Romeo and Juliet story.
Bouchard said they got married when she turned 15 and she delivered a baby boy. That marriage ended in divorce, and the woman then took her own life when she was 20. Bouchard said he's not intimidated by this information being brought to life. Well, graduation came early today for a select few high schoolers, the first members of a new School District 2 program aimed at providing hands-on experience in a variety of trade professions. As MTN's Casey Conlon found out in our latest Rebound report, it's working like a charm.
4 months ago, students in Build Montana's initial pilot program were just starting classroom work with the idea that they'd eventually get real-world construction and machinery training. Well, that day has finally come, and today on graduation, 2 of them already have futures lined up.
A couple of weeks ago, we actually got a call from Hal that said we have 2 positions opened if you guys want them. So it's really awesome because, you know, I thought I was going to be stuck at Walmart for the summer, and just to, you know, build on the opportunities that were given to me, that's just great.
That's this program working. How excited are you for that?
Super excited. You know, as a former educator myself, I mean, so I'm, you know, when you see the fruits of the labor, this is why we do what we do.
Everyone involved in the pilot program, from educators and administration to the numerous companies donating to the process, say the launch semester surpassed their expectations. All are hoping many more students take the opportunity going forward to fill a growing trade job need.
Just a great opportunity for these students and young people to learn what's available to them with effort.
It's going to be awesome to have this, you know, line of work in my back pocket because it'll definitely help me down the future.
A future made possible by a group of people thinking outside the box. Casey Conlon, MTN News.
Thanks, Casey. Up next on tonight's MTN 530 News here on Q2. Find out what has the wheels turning at Medicine Crow Middle School. Plus, we'll take to the skies for the Friday flyover at Cooney State Park. And in sports, time to play ball. The Billings Mustangs getting ready to open the season tomorrow. We'll hear from a familiar face looking to be a hit on this year's squad.